Jeff Slauson here from 19 News Now at the 19 News Digital Desk with some breaking news here. Former President Donald Trump has now been indicted for a second time. This, you may remember, a couple of months ago, he was indicted for a case involving hush money payments made to the former adult film actress Stormy Daniels. We now have confirmed, according to the president on his Truth Social account, which is essentially just another form of a social media site, that he is now being indicted for a second time next week in a Miami courthouse regarding the mishandling of classified documents. You may remember last year, his Mar-a-Lago estate was raided by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Secret Service. They were looking for classified documents after there were reports that the president took highly classified to top secret documents from the White House without permission from the Library of Congress and from the Secret Service, and was basically keeping them in closets, keeping them in different areas, in his office, in places where there was a report from one of the FBI forms that showed that the president had highly classified documents in a closet that was sharing space with linens and other areas that maids had daily access to. There was also a part where there was the access was given to people to use for outdoor activities, like if you were going to get a towel for the pool. This ultimately leads to where we are right now. I'm going to read you all three of former President Donald Trump's, I guess you could say, statements on Truth Social. We'll walk through them together here. He says, page 1, the corrupt Biden administration has informed my attorneys that I've been indicted seemingly over the boxes hoax, even though Joe Biden has 1,000. This is unfounded, so we're just going to skip this part. That is not accurate information. Okay. He states that I have been summoned to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami next week. That is going to be Tuesday at 3 p.m. He states that he never believed that such a thing could happen to a former president of the United States. Again, I want to reiterate, this is the second time. And then we're going to skip that part because that is also fake statistics there. And then lastly, he says it is indeed a dark day for the United States, and finishes with Make America Great Again. Obviously, this is a very, very active situation here. We are hoping to get some more information on this, but I'm just going to kind of read through this. We're going to go through this the best we can. I mean, this is really, we just got this in, don't have any video to even show right now because I wasn't able to even break that down. All right, so we're going to try and get like a story in here from when the raid actually did happen. But going to read the story at least we have that's posted onto our website right now at cleveland19.com. So this is according to the former president, again, on his Truth Social account. So the Justice Department has been reached for comment, the Associated Press, CBS, and as of right now, they say that they do not have any comment on this right now. The federal charges stem from being warned to replace in some way the documents, the classified documents that he took from the White House when his tenure as president did end. Let me just try and figure out here. And you may remember that we had gone pretty much live for an extended period of time when the raid happened at Mar-a-Lago. And a full list of the documents was broken down, and a large part of that is the ones that were listed as secret and top secret, the highest level of clearance. Now, part of the deal with a lot of these documents that were listed above a higher clearance level, so including secret, top secret, those ones, you cannot take them out of a secured facility. And a secured facility is considered one that, yes, you guessed it, is operated and owned by the United States government. Now, the Library of Congress plays a big part in this as well, because a lot of the documents that are in a president's residence, regardless of where they are, they get shipped to the Library of Congress. That did not happen in this situation. So the Library of Congress started digging around and wondering where these documents were. They couldn't find them. So essentially, this is what ultimately led to where we are right now. CBS News has now confirmed Trump's indictment as well. So we have multiple confirmations on this. A couple of days ago, there were some feelings that there was a chance that we could see the former president charged in with these crimes, but we didn't know when that was going to happen. There were rumors that had come in the next few days, and now it seems that next week he will be making his appearance in a Miami courthouse to try and, or to at least, again, I mean, this is the definition of unprecedented. We've never had a president indicted once. We now have a president indicted twice in this. Our colleagues over at CBS have, as I said, confirmed that this is indeed what has happened. The former president indicted, or going to be indicted again on these charges. All right, let's go to. I found a story here from CBS that I want to play. Let's get. All right, so some new evidence recently came about from these classified documents. I found a story from CBS News I want to play now to give a little bit of clarity on this situation.
CNN Marie, CBS News understands that the audio tape is now part of the special counsel's criminal investigation, and in recent months it has been the focus of grand jury testimony here in Washington.
Two sources familiar with the matter tell CBS News the audio tape is from a meeting 2 years ago at former President Trump's New Jersey golf club, more than a year before federal investigators searched his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida and seized records marked classified. The existence of the tape was first reported by CNN. Two sources say the recording captures Trump acknowledging there are national security restrictions on the Pentagon memo, the detailed potential plans to attack Iran. One source said that Trump stated he should have declassified the record before leaving the White House, apparently contradicting recent claims at a CNN town hall.
I have no classified documents. And by the way, they become automatically declassified when I took them.
In his autobiography, Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, appears to describe the New Jersey meeting, where Trump recalls a 4-page report that contained a plan to attack Iran, deploying massive numbers of troops.
He possessed the classified document, and he had the intent to possess that.
Scott Frederickson is a former federal prosecutor.
This is a huge piece of evidence for the special counsel. It'll be highly influential in the decision of whether or not to indict the former president. And certainly, if there were to be a trial, this would be mighty powerful evidence, a tape recording of the president himself.
Also in an interview on CNN, Trump's attorney Jim Trusty did not dispute the facts of the recording, but accused the Justice Department and FBI of a, quote, leak campaign. The special counsel's office declined to comment, but we understand there are indications that his investigation into Trump's handling of classified materials may be in its final stages. Anne-Marie, Nancy.
So much to unpack here. Catherine, has Trump's legal team responded to this recording? What kind of legal trouble potentially could this put him in?
Well, when you look at the criminal statutes when it comes to classified information, some of them don't require any intent. It's simply possessing national defense information. So this Pentagon memo would clearly fall into that category, though typically in these investigations, prosecutors like to have evidence of intent or willfulness, that the individual took that record and they understood that it was a record that was national security related and that it should have been protected. So you can make the argument that this audio tape would help further strengthen a prosecutor's case.
So I have questions about this meeting, right? It's in New Jersey. It's about, a book deal, I guess. But were there other people in the room? And do we know if the former president, was aware of the fact that he was being recorded?
Based on my reporting, it is very common when the former president participates in a book that he likes to have audio recordings of those conversations. I don't know if it's for fact-checking reasons or for his personal use in the future. My understanding is that this was being recorded as part of the research for Mark Meadows' book. What I would also say in this case is that we're aware of at least 3 other people who were at that meeting, and one of the questions is whether any of them had a security clearance that was sufficient to have access to the information. It's not clear from the recording whether former President Trump physically had the record with him or he was simply describing it or alluding to it with the group. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether the information is just discussed verbally or whether it's on a piece of paper. It still maintains that classified designation.
Wow.
All right, so as we continue to get more and more information on this, I want to remind you of where we were and what led to this ultimately. So, again, you may remember the former president, the seizure that took place at Mar-a-Lago. There were 15 boxes recovered from the Florida estate, and that was early in 2022. classified documents, top secret documents, top secret documents. I mean, the highest classification were found at the residence. And very importantly, and I remember going through specifically, when you have top secret cleared documents, not only they're not supposed to leave the federal government's hands, they need to be secured. That was a key point in the FBI affidavit that was released. When they had recovered them, 14 of the 15 boxes that were recovered contained classified documents, many top secret. Many of them were mixed in with boxes that had newspapers, magazines, and personal correspondence in there. A couple of the things had information about prime ministers, about different people that work in multiple different organizations and work with multiple different countries, around the world. The key here, it needs to be an authorized storage space. Mar-a-Lago was not. Again, Mar-a-Lago was not considered a legitimate and authorized storage space for classified materials. That, according to the court papers and according to what they classify as something that is a classified, authorized storage material. So, finding any of that is obstruction of justice, essentially, and led to the probable cause that they would find that. The affidavit, which was heavily redacted, we read through part of it, and I'm reading some of it from here, courtesy of the Associated Press. Basically, the storage is a huge part of this and a huge problem of this. And if you may remember, when we first found out about the documents being taken, did not know exactly specifically where this would lead to. But the retention of those top secret documents, how they were kept, and the failure to not only inform the White House, but safeguard them against people that potentially were there, that ultimately led to where we are now. And that ultimately led to the decision, it seems, for charges to be brought. Now, we're unsure what specific charges are going to be brought against the former president. Special Counsel Jack Smith, who is in charge of this investigation, it's not made clear because the former president is the one who informed all of us. The Department of Justice has declined to give any more information on this. Once the Justice Department officially confirms it, hopefully we can get at least some sort of information related to what these charges could entail. But this is the second time now former President Donald Trump has been indicted. He was arraigned in a New York Manhattan courthouse earlier this year regarding hush money payments made to Stormy Daniels, and now will be receiving a similar reaction when he goes to a Miami courthouse, according to him, again on Tuesday. That's when he's going to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami. Most likely will be booked again. I mean, this is an unprecedented, I know we say that a lot, this is unprecedented situation. So we don't get any more details from some of these documents. 11 sets of classified records were recovered during this. Again, there was an August 8th search. I'm getting the date there correctly here. But 15 different documents. There were a lot, is what the quote-unquote said, a lot of classified materials in this. Just an insane situation here. I'm just trying to remember and go through some of this to see if there's anything else we need to kind of cover with this. But the former president now confirming and has confirmed this. I'm only going to show you part of the Truth Social statement because I'm not going to be spreading any of the false information that the president has declared in a lot of this. We'll just go right to here, where he says, "This is indeed a dark day for the United States of America. We are a country in serious and rapid decline, but together we will make America great again." Again, former President Donald Trump confirming that he is being indicted again, this time on charges related to the mishandling of classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. Next week, on Tuesday at 3 o'clock, according to the former president, he will be in the Miami federal courthouse where he will be making an appearance related to these charges. We, of course, will cover that live, and we will have much more on this breaking news story tonight on 19 News at 10 and 11. I don't think there's anything else that we have here, but of course, if any more breaking news comes out or if the Department of Justice confirms this to us, we will make sure that we jump onto another digital stream then. I think that's all I'm going to have, at least for right now. For now, I'm Jeff Slauson with 19 News. Have a great night. Much more to come, both on air and online.
19 News, now streaming on Samsung Smart TV. Search for channel 1035.